Ladies and gents, Botter Milligan here at Collective Con, standing beside yet another voice acting icon. I'm talking about the man who has voiced some of my favorite and your favorite cartoon characters, including but not limited to Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Darkwing Duck, Tasmanian Devil. The list goes on and on. Ladies and gents, I'm talking about the incomparable Jim Cummings. Jim, how are you doing today?
I didn't know I was incomparable. I thought I was pretty comped up.
I had a few. Awesome. Yeah. I had a few adjectives to describe you, but I figured incomparable. With a list of almost 400 credits plus 400 plus some credits to your name, I was wondering, which one of those? If I'm asking you to do the impossible and hone in on maybe one or two that really might be a little more special than the others.
Yeah. Well, Pooh and Tigger are in their own category because they're as sweet as honey. And and I love Darkwing Duck. You gotta love Darkwing Duck. Who doesn't love? And then the anti-Pooh, of course, Taz. And one of my big time favorites is Ray from Princess and the Frog, and definitely, absolutely, Hondo Ohnaka, Star Wars. Little franchise you might have heard of.
I think I recall that. All right. So, Jim, one of the interesting things I found out as I'm preparing for this interview is that you're one of the only, if not only, original voice actor from the TMNT series to return back for the 2007 animated film. And I'm curious, have you seen the trailer for the new animated TMNT film coming out, Mutant Mayhem, or thoughts on that?
No, because I'm not in it, so who cares?
You're right. It is missing a big heaping of you on that film. But, I mean, thoughts in general, I guess.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
One more question for you. Considering that there's probably a lot of aspiring voice actors that want to be the next Jim Cummings that are inspired by your career, do you have any words of wisdom to those aspiring voice actors, maybe specifically advice that you wish that you would have received early on in your career?
Well, know what you want to do. Aim. Have a clear focus. And whenever I would come up with a character, now if it's an established one, you want to sound just like him and add to that. So that one's an easy one. But as far as coming up with new characters, use your imagination. And like, for instance, Hondo Ohnaka, I've always said he's a combination of Charles Bronson and Yul Brynner in my head. So mix and match like that. Yeah, and the fact is, if you do a perfect impression of someone famous, hold on to it. You never know. You might be able to use it. If you do a terrible impression of someone very famous, can't even tell who it is, you got a new character. And if you do a perfect impression of somebody that nobody knows, like speaking of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Leatherhead was I was a bad guy in the originals, and that was a dead-on impression of my first tugboat captain when I was a deckhand on the Mississippi River. That's just how he sounded. That was the way he spoke. So I stole him, and I often wondered if his grandkids are going, "Hey, Grandpa, you know this alligator here?" So the little tricks of the trade.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for sharing your time as well. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gents, Jim Cummings.